What it is, party people, here we are. We're gonna do something a little bit different today. I wanna illustrate the point of card advantage, and basically what card advantage is the ability to draw additional cards off the cards that you have. And card advantage is the thing that prevents you from running out of steam against longer control decks, or just gives you more options in general. And as a general strategy in the game, you want to limit the card advantage of your opponent, or be able to deal with their card advantage effectively with removal, or you want to generate a lot of your own card advantage. This is the crux of what control decks do, right? They attempt to limit your card advantage, or at least outgas you on card advantage. And once you run out of steam, that's when they pull the trigger and take you out. So I pre-recorded a game here that we're going to go ahead and watch. And basically, with this game, I created a warrior deck that uses Disciple of Numira and Numira Shrine, as well as a number of other draw mechanics to generate card advantage. And what I'm doing is dropping the a little overlay on this that shows when I'm generating card advantage and from what. That way you can see exactly what my card advantage is over the course of the game. Basically, I'm playing a Mac Attack 1451 who's also rank 1 with the title creator. They're running a mage deck, and I already know this ahead of time. I'm not going to worry about spoilers here because that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to show card advantage. And so Mac Attack here is running a control deck, and arguably most control decks should be able to take out a warrior deck relatively effectively. And in this game, we're going to combat the control of his deck with our own card draw, and hopefully we'll be able to get him to concede or just beat him down before he gets the chance to make us run out of gas. And as you can see, we're already pulling up Numira's Shrine, and we're pulling up the Stronghold Patrol, which are both cards that generate card advantage, right? So all we're going to try to do is stabilize against him with a solid board and a solid beatdown, and just outdraw him on card advantage. This is what makes support mage get a particularly large amount of value. This is what allows a lot of assassin decks like Altar Assassin to generate a lot of value, etc.
So little time.
As you can see right there, they got a little bit of card advantage from their Shadowfoot. They're also going to get some from their Tome when they get a chance to play that. Let's go ahead and play that Counterfeit Trinket.
The forest will not suffer.
So all we're trying to do there is prevent more card advantage on their behalf. We didn't target the Thieves Guild Shadowfoot because that doesn't have the potential to get warded up again and generate card advantage. And that's really just the focus of this video. That's all we're focusing on. And like a typical control, they're trying to limit my board. So there they are, generating a little bit more card advantage with their Tome of Alteration. Stormcloak Vanguard, an excellent way to generate card advantage and take the Shadowfoot off the board. There we go, that Stormcloak Battalion getting added to our card count.
Holding on to anything
Rift and Pickpocket generating card advantage on their side.
Shall take you.
Of course, every broken rune is air quotes card advantage. I tend to not count that because everybody has access to the same amount of runes.
You must be clever.
Go ahead and pull that tome off of them so that we can take an advantageous trade. Hunting ally, another great source of card advantage, giving them firebolts. They of course didn't get their value there. Raiding Party is an interesting card as far as card advantage goes, because arguably you're adding 2 cards, but you also played 1 card to get it. There's a lot of cards in decks like that, like the action where you spend an action to get 2 random actions. I don't typically count those as full-on card advantage, although opinions may differ. Here we are getting a little bit more from our Stronghold Patrol.
We obey.
For the sake of black and white, though, we are counting cards like that, actions that generate tokens or whatever it is as card. And as you can see, we're already starting to generate a board here. They're having a little bit of trouble with.
I have many important things on my mind.
So a really great play against Numira's Shrine, of course, is the Raiding Party, because it's 3 cards, right? You have the 2 Nord Firebrands for 0, as well as the action itself, right? So that counts as 3 cards for Numira's Shrine. An interesting thing, I was trying to decide there whether to go Dark Guardian or Reeve, and the reason is Dark Guardian itself generates a pretty significant amount of card advantage, and I looked at the next turn, and I knew that I could play both Dark Guardians and then Reeve into it, of course, cast it at the time, bid us. So we are generating a little bit more as the Stormcloak Battalion comes out. Dark Guardian is a great source of prophecy card advantage. And just a quick addressment as to why I count runes for card advantage is because you have the ability to skip runes, right? If you OTK a 20 damage creature or something like that, and you could skip a bunch of runes, they never actually got those cards, so you generated card advantage there. You call it something like net card advantage.
By the 8th, they will meet their makers.
And card advantage is a pretty solid marker for who's going to win a game, right? Because ultimately the person with the most card advantage had the most options available to them. So here I am, I'm playing both Dark Guardians in case they pop a rune here, right? Or pop a prophecy. The ideal case there, of course, would have been to grab that. Because if I had broken a rune, I would have gotten 2 cards from that, right? Or I'm sorry, not broken a rune. Broken a rune and they had gotten a prophecy. And we're coming out right up to where a control mage really starts to shine, because they get access to those large creatures like Manticora and Dawn's Wrath and all that kind of stuff. I can sense it right here, the Ice Storm coming. They hesitate a little, but then there goes the Ice Storm. That resets the board. Now,
Follow me, men.
oh, I thought it was this turn. Oh yeah, it is this turn. Okay, so I chose to play my Stronghold Patrol here, even though I didn't get the advantage from it, because that gave me 3 cards, which still gave me a card. Ideally I would have been able to get cards off both of them plus the triple card, but there was just no way to make that work with the mana that I had. Dawn's Wrath eliminated my lane. At this point, actually probably way before this point, a warrior would have run out of gas, right? But because I have that shrine, I'm just kind of chugging along, putting threats out there for them, and they're dealing with those threats, using up their removal, and I can still keep on trucking. I decided not to play all my cards here because I am running low. And this, of course, is a devastating thing to see. I'm always constantly in the back of my mind doing my math to see how many, or how many ways I can make 3 cards happen. That Dark Guardian being absolutely perfect to curve us out at 3. I decided to go with the Earthbone Spinner, though. Get rid of that guard for next turn. And it also means that if he takes out the Dushnik Yal Archer, he dies. And I got a little bit of advantage off that Disciple of the Mirror. They understand what I'm doing here, so they wanted to cast that at the time so that I couldn't keep doing
Holding
that.
on to anything interesting?
There they are, generating a little bit more card advantage. At this point, I'm starting to get a little bit worried about how much health I have. They're also getting worried about how much health I have. I see that I have the Sower of Revenge here, so I know that I just need to get them down to 5 health. We'll spread the lanes out, avoid Dawn's Wrath, and see where we can go from here. This is rather devastating looking. And I draw literally the perfect card for this situation.
The forest will not suffer your presence.
You will perish in pain.
The day is mine.
And there you go. You take them down to 2. There aren't a whole lot of exits, and there's the concede.
I bow to your victory.
So yeah, that's how you can use card advantage to outplay your opponents. This is why mid-range and control decks work so well. This is why in order for those decks to work, you need health regen to sustain, and you need card draw to basically outdraw your opponent. Now you got to be careful. You don't want to draw too much where you're going to end up with a hand of 10 and you're going to end up burning cards. There's actually a number of decks that use that mechanic in order to mill themselves or something to that effect. You know, a good example is you can overdraw and then use some other revive mechanic to pull stuff out of your graveyard, or those kinds of things. Of course, you can run a mill deck that runs Journey to Sovngarde. That was much more powerful before the nerf, but it's now still pretty valid, right? You want to get as much stuff as possible in your discard pile so that you can give them those buffs and play them. So in a nutshell, that's card advantage kind of illustrated with some numbers on the screen. Let me know what you thought. Leave some comments below. Let me know if I missed any card advantage there, or if you wouldn't have counted something, or you would have counted something, or anything like that. And be sure to share this with your friends, especially if they're new. And, you know, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you like what you saw.